celebrating 48 years, and we're bringing you inside to show you how San Diego is kicking off the holidays.
December Nights is a fun event, but getting here can be a challenge, and parking is pricey. How much it will cost you?
New developments in the search for human remains at this house in Southcrest. We now know how many bodies were found.
We're learning more about the suspect charged in a fatal crash from over the weekend that killed an 8-year-old. I have more on his history of DUIs.
A hair tie made from pineapple leaves, and it can break down naturally. We'll show you the concept in this Innovate 8.
And holiday heart syndrome, what doctors are seeing this time of year when it comes to too much alcohol, food, and stress.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
We start tonight with a major traffic alert as a stretch of Interstate 5 is closed because of police activity. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. Both northbound and southbound lanes are closed at Del Mar Heights Road. The activity taking place on the Del Mar Heights Road overpass. This right here is a live look at Interstate 5 North at Carmel Mountain Road. You can see just a sea of brake lights heading northbound. Traffic appears to be moving southbound. We do understand that they might have opened that one lane. Now, this is just south of where that police activity is happening, and again, a whole lot of red out there. This started more than 6 hours ago, just after 11:30 this morning.
Those lanes going south, though, could be coming from the 56, so I'm not sure if it's open up at Del Mar Heights Road just yet. Meantime, southbound traffic on Interstate 5, as we mentioned, is backed up as far north as Encinitas, and northbound traffic is backed up to Genesee. Northbound traffic on the 805 is even backed up to about Miramar Road.
That's a good point, Carlo, because we have been hearing that all southbound lanes were closed except for possibly that number 5 lane so that some traffic could get through. We do not know when the freeway will open again, but law enforcement says you should really just avoid this area if possible. Expect heavy delays, possibly up to 2 hours. The CHP says the situation will be ongoing with the intent to preserve human safety. We will continue to monitor the situation and bring you any updates once they come into our newsroom.
From the food to the music to the museums, December Nights is back. The city of San Diego's largest free holiday event is kicking off tonight.
The 2-day event is expected to draw about 350,000 people. CBS 8's Esmeralda Perez joins us live from Balboa Park. Esmeralda, the tree lighting is about to take place. Set the scene for us tonight.
Enjoy the sights and sounds. Well, that's right. The tree lighting is just about getting underway. I want to show you just how many people are here out at the Organ Pavilion. There's so much energy here. Everyone's so excited to see that tree lit up. So let me tell you, people have been on their feet dancing with nonstop music performances. There's just so much to do out here, and this year marks the event's 48th anniversary. Now, if you're making plans to come out here tonight, the event goes on until 11 o'clock tonight, and tomorrow those hours are from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. You can see there just how many people have came out here tonight for the first night of December Nights. Of course, all the fun continues through tomorrow night. Now, the headliner for this year is singer Frankie J, who's going to be performing tomorrow night at the Panama Stage starting at 7 p.m. From Balboa, here, we're going to go ahead and send things back to you.
Oh, the tree lighting was supposed to happen right at 6, running a little behind, but it's going to look so glorious, and we'll share it with you on later editions of CBS 8. Now, if you are heading to December Nights this weekend, prepare for a lot of traffic and some pricey parking options.
Yeah, CBS 8's Shannon Handy has more on that and what other options you may have to save a little money.
December Nights is a great event with lots to do, but getting here can be a challenge. And if you plan to drive and park close, it will cost you. A lot of work goes into setting up for December Nights.
We're known for Birria Michi. We have Smash Kings and Cheesy Boys.
Sharon Preciado and her team arrived early to prep food. These guys got in some warm-ups before performing in front of a packed crowd. How many people expecting?
So we're expecting about 350,000 people to attend over the 2 days.
Perret Godwin works for the city of San Diego. They organize December nights, which, while free to attend, isn't free to park, as a way to help the city recoup some of the costs associated with putting on the two-day event.
That has always been around for quite some time.
Lots throughout the park will cost you between $32 and $52, depending on where the lot is and if you paid in advance or not. That's a bit pricier compared to the year before. Something new this year? The zoo lot, which used to be free, will now be $35. Zoo members don't have to pay, but they do have to register their vehicles online.
The zoo leases out that area, right? So the parking right now is theirs, and so they can do as they see fit on the part that they are leasing out.
Well, I think it's wrong.
Despite having a zoo pass, Fred Richter isn't happy with the paid parking plan, both at the zoo and around Balboa Park.
So everything is permit parking or fee parking, and I just think it's wrong. It's a public park. You shouldn't have to pay to come to a public park.
Another complaint, vendors were only allotted a certain amount of parking passes.
The Danish House got 3 permits, and the rest of the people had to pile up, and we're just doing what we can.
For Deirdre Doan, who volunteers at the Danish House, that means having her husband drop her off and pick her up. There are other ways around having to pay for parking. City College has 4 parking garages free of charge with a shuttle available to take people to December nights. Some low price and or more convenient options include parking far and walking, taking the bus, or ride share. There are also free bike valets available on the west and east sides of Balboa Park and free shuttle service for Green Line trolley riders. We have all the information you need at CBS8.com. Shanna Handy.
But it is fun if you can get here.
CBS 8.
New information in the search of a property in Southcrest for human remains. The district attorney's office put out a statement today saying the remains found are believed to be from one human body.
CBS 8's David Gottfredson talked with an attorney about what happens next.
For days, there has been speculation about how many bodies were buried at this home on Newton Avenue in Southcrest. But Friday, a news release from the district attorney's office clarified. Investigators recovered what is believed to be the remains of one human being. The identity of the individual has not been determined. It could take weeks or even months for the medical examiner's office to identify the remains, and because the remains are skeletal, a cause of death may never be determined.
There are many ways someone could pass away or expire on someone's property or wind up there that may not always necessarily involve murder.
I spoke to defense attorney David Shapiro, who is not involved in the case, about what happens next. The DA's office has named an ex-con, 74-year-old Dwight Roan, a person of interest in the case. Roan is already in jail, charged with murder in the shooting death of a man in the South Bay in 2023, so there's no rush to charge him in the Southcrest case.
He is not going anywhere as long as the current case, the Chula Vista case, which he's booked in on murder and other charges, as long as he remains on no bail status, they know where he is going to be, so they do not need to rush in their decision.
The landlord of the house where the remains were found told me Roan lived in the house until July of 2023, and that he had to pay Roan $2,500 to move out before the house was totally renovated. The big questions are, how long were those remains buried there, and what led police officers to dig in the yard of that home?
Time will ultimately tell where they ultimately found out about these remains, whether it was intentional, meaning someone actually said something to the police, or someone was talking that they might have been listening to a recorded line from a jail.
Now, Roan has not been charged in connection with the remains found at this house in Southcrest, but he is already facing life in prison if convicted of the 2023 murder in the South Bay. David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
Thanks, David. Stay with CBS 8 for any developments on the story. We'll post updates on CBS8.com, and you can also follow us on social media or download our free CBS 8 app.
A Marine who died in a training accident at Camp Pendleton has been identified as a 21-year-old from the Sacramento area. The U.S. Marine Corps says Private First Class Tanner Rubio died Wednesday in an accident involving a tactical vehicle. Rubio joined the Marines in January. He was an infantry rifleman assigned to the 1st Marine Division. An investigation into the cause of that accident is ongoing.
We are learning more about the suspect police say caused a head-on crash in Julian over the weekend that killed an 8-year-old girl.
CBS 8 found out he is an undocumented immigrant previously charged with DUIs, and he had an outstanding 2023 deportation. CBS 8's Alex Cheney has more on the suspect's history. Alex?
Yeah, Carlo, that's right. The 2 other children involved in that crash were taken to here, Rady Children's Hospital, with serious injuries. The suspect is a 25-year-old with a history of DUIs and entered the country illegally. A military family about to start the next chapter of their lives until a sudden head-on crash killed their 8-year-old daughter. Oscar Cruz Asensio, a Marine stationed at MCAS Yuma, who is preparing to leave the Marine Corps, his wife Jackie, and their 3 kids had their belongings packed in the car as they drove on San Felipe Road in Julian. California Highway Patrol says on Sunday around 3 p.m., a Tacoma truck crossed over a set of double yellow lines and crashed into their car. 2 boys, ages 5 and 4, survived, but their older sister died from her injuries. The Tacoma then struck a Ford truck with an attached trailer that overturned and caught fire. ICE San Diego identified the main suspect who was driving the Tacoma as 25-year-old Brian Josue Alva Rodriguez from Oceanside. In a social media post, ICE San Diego says he is in the country illegally and from Guatemala. ICE says Alva illegally entered the U.S. through the Calexico port of entry in 2018. During his immigration proceedings, he was charged with 2 DUIs in 2020 and 2021. In 2023, an immigration judge ordered his deportation, but Alva failed to leave. ICE said in their post, "Now an innocent life has been lost in a tragedy that could have been prevented," and went on to say an immigration detainer will be put on Alva as soon as he is formally charged. Our investigation into Alva revealed court documents showing the charges he's now facing: 1 count of murder for the death of the 8-year-old girl, a count of gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated, a count of driving under the influence of alcohol causing injury with a prior DUI within 10 years, and the 4th and final count of driving with a measurable blood alcohol causing injury with a prior DUI. The 4 felonies carry the potential of several years in prison and up to a life sentence. Alva Rodriguez was arraigned yesterday and will make his next appearance in North County Court for a readiness hearing on January 7th. I'm Alex Cheney, CBS 8.
Thanks, Alex. Doctors say you should be mindful of just how merry you get this holiday season.
We'll explain why still ahead. Plus, why Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is in Southern California tonight.
And local college students create an eco-friendly hair tie made from pineapple leaves. We'll tell you all about the concept in an Innovate 8 report.